Ever since my days as a chorister, I've always loved performing Benjamin Britten's works for the voice. For me, Britten really sets the standard with his approach to text, always with a careful understanding of the poetry and of the inflections of language, whether English or otherwise. The Choir of Clare College, Cambridge's latest album is centred around his festive masterpiece, A Ceremony of Carols, performed with harpist Tanya Houghton in the version for SATB choir by Julius Harrison. Composed in 1942, whilst Britten was at sea on his way back to England, the work is full of variety and contrasts of colour, from the plangent individual lines of That Younger Child and In Freezing Winter Night, through to the exuberance of I Sing of a Maiden and This Little Babe. This evocative and immensely popular work is a much-loved part of the Christmas repertoire of the Choir of Clare College, and indeed of choirs around the world. Also included in our album are works by three composers who Britten was heavily influenced by: a Christmas motet and an exquisite part song from two of his composition teachers, John Ireland and Frank Bridge, and a wonderfully festive motet, This Have I Done for My True Love, by Gustav Holst, whom Britten held a close admiration for, alongside settings of some of Britten's own carols, including the early lullaby, Sweet Was the Song the Virgins Sang, and his beautiful but quirky settings of the sycamore tree and the holly and the ivy. I've also programmed on this disc some of his lesser-known works that span some 3 decades, including his trio of morning canticles in C major, the rarely heard Deus in Adjutorium Meum Intende, and 3 of his great choral hymns, a hymn of St. Columba, the hymn to St. Peter, and the astonishing motet, a hymn to the Virgin, written when he was just 16. The last word in our album is given to a New Year carol, one of the earliest of Britten's many works for children's voices. In our performance, we transfer the original piano part to the harp, and as the days of Christmas pass by, we collectively look forward as we let the new year in. The Choir of Clare College, Cambridge's latest album, A Ceremony of Carols, is out now on Harmonia Mundi and Apple Music.